Have you ever felt like a visitor in your own home? That feeling that you are not truly welcome. That is a feeling many adopted people know all too well. It's one of the toughest parts of the adoption experience. This persistent sense of being a guest in the family that's raising you. They claim that you are loved, but you are never really considered or seen as part of. There is always this underlying feeling that you're there out of obligation, a choice they made that they have come to regret. This feeling plants a seed of insecurity. You start to believe that commitment to you is never permanent, that it is completely dependent upon you meeting what they require, but you have no idea what it is that they truly want or need from you. So, you try everything. You become a master of adaptation. You try to be the perfect child, the easy child, the one who never causes any trouble. You learn to read the room, always wired to observe, always sitting on the edge, always trying to not make mistakes. You're constantly walking on eggshells, trying desperately to earn your place, to finally feel like you truly belong. But the frustrating part is, the rules of the game seem to change constantly. Just when you think you've figured out how to fit in, how to be good enough, the goalposts move. A behavior that was acceptable yesterday is a problem today. You're always making mistakes, no matter how hard you try not to, and each mistake feels like a major failure, reinforcing that fear that you're not really wanted, that you're just one wrong step away from being sent away. It's an exhausting, invisible struggle that you carry with you every single day. It's a complex part of the adoptee journey that deserves to be talked about. It's okay to feel this way, and it's okay to seek support. It is okay to have your needs met and your voice finally heard and valued.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening all, it's Bear here. And I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel, A Box with No Lid. A channel I'm creating not just to bring the awareness around the lived reality of trauma and complex trauma, and the reality of the world that is adoption and foster care removal trauma. But I really want to bring forward what I've learned through my own personal journey as I am an adoptee, but also my many, many years and what I've learned to be an advocate and as a practitioner. All with this simple hope of, yes, creating more awareness and understanding in the world out there around the reality created by removal and placement. But also in the hope that something you may learn or hear here will be supportive and helpful in your own healing journey, in putting your own puzzle together into what you need to create and manifest the life you so rightly and justly deserve. To broaden these understandings as to why things have unfolded and play out the way they do, and why we are the way we are, all of us that have come from this base of removal, and what got us to where we are now. This video is something that is another one of these silent in the background ones that runs in so many people's lives. Growing up in a household you felt like a guest in. And what does that mean to feel like a guest, an uninvited guest in the family that is raising you? In so many of the other videos I've made around the reasons adoptions don't fail, and the others that I will be making, all revolve around one of the consequences after that. When adoptions start to go south, when adoptions fail, a part of that is the child is a guest in that family. The adoptive parents have gone, well, I hoped to get this feeling from this experience by choosing to adopt, whatever the reasons were to choose to adopt, or to choose to take on a long-term placement. When those feelings aren't met, what you project in the survival state created by removal in that child means that child is aware that they're not fulfilling that, they're not actually welcome. There isn't these points of connection, of co-regulation to be able to heal. You're not learning the child, and being the adult in your nervous system is not helping the child move through the processes created by removal. So that child develops an awareness because we've cognitively had to prematurely engage. We create a narrative around, what do I need to become to be part of this family? And we know on every fundamental level that we're not really wanted here. And we grow up as a mistake. We grow up feeling as a mistake. We grow up and we try various types and ways to try to fix it. We try to, as children always do, to create solutions. We come from a trauma narrative, so our solutions 9 times out of 10 make things worse. And it feeds this thing of we are a guest in the family that is raising us. We are a non-entity. We are not part of the considerations of where the family is headed, and our participation is not welcome, regardless of what people say. There are a lot of platitudes that I've seen said, but we know and we feel it. And that creates so many layers that are a barrier from us having the permanency in relationships and friendships that we ultimately want to seek and want to have. It's because we go, it's not permanent. It's always going to go down this path. And we create this argument within ourselves that is another part of understanding the attachment components associated with the fog and removal trauma. As I said in a couple of previous videos, I've got a project for the next 12 months, is I want to create a whole series on outlining the structure, the attachment style that removal creates, in the hope that it is beneficial. I haven't quite got the format and how to put it all together. I've got all these little pieces that I'm trying to bring together. And this channel, a lot of these pieces are played out in all the different videos. But I want to create one place where a person can sit down and watch an hour or two and get an understanding of all the facets and how the puzzle comes together. I hope to be able to do that. Big project, a very complicated project. And as I said, I'm still learning how to work with animations and all these ways to create it and deliver it in a way that it is understood. And that is another component associated with this particular video, is trying to deliver these things to where you guys understand them. Where do you guys get them? A part of the fog, as I said, when we cognitively learn to have to, our cognitive brain comes on online to have to observe and work out how to be part of this family that's raising us, its non-biological family. Part of that mechanism gives us a hypersensitivity to what is going on around us. And we know that if we're not meeting the emotional needs of the parents that are raising us, our adoptive parents, and that turns to a degree of animosity, and it does. I see it reflected so often. The harm of being a guest in your own family, as I said, feeds into another layer around the removal trauma and the survival state created. That it is something that we need to be aware of. It's something that needs to be not a blame game thing, but an awareness of what it creates so that we can start to work with it to heal. It's a consequence of incompatibility with placement. It's a consequence of epigenetics and generational trauma and all these parts of this puzzle that need to be understood and put together. As I said, blame is justified, but it's not going to fix or resolve anything. It's getting the information you need to put your own puzzle together so that you go forward aware of what it is you're trying to change and what it is you need to be able to change, the ecology you want and need to create so that you can create the resources to heal, and pursuing that, taking the half steps and all the little steps you need to create that. This video is more around an awareness thing rather than a path to healing it. It is part of the puzzle of understanding our narrative and our story and our trauma survival state, our removal and placement trauma survival state. Because we were aware we grew up separate. We knew we were a burden. We knew that they regretted their decision to adopt, whether they would admit it or not. That is still played out in our childhood. And that still plays out in our relationships because we don't trust the permanency of our relationships. We are subconsciously looking for, are we a burden? Do they really want us? Is this relationship going to last? There's all these sensory inputs that we pursue searching for, created by our childhood. And it does severely affect our relationships and the permanency of our relationships. And what we demand for our relationships to prove that they are going to last. And our friendships and so forth and so forth. It's a part of the attachment process created from the fog and our childhood. To work with it, as I said, it comes through awareness and understanding and creating the ecology to teach our nervous system to change our narrative, to change our survival state. And that takes time. Awareness is key. I really hope you guys get and value these videos and where I'm coming at it with this. It's all trying to get all these different pieces from all these different videos to put your own puzzle together so that you know what you need and what you can pursue and what you can do and how you will make it work for you. I really love you guys' comments and feedback. Please be mindful, please be safe. Please hit the like and share button and the subscribe button. And as always, take the time and value your own journey so that you can heal. Be safe, and I'll see you all next time.